Alright guys, this is the second variation. It's going to be a little bit harder, so let's see how you go. It's slightly different. So bring the feet together, bring your hands by your sides, Tadasana, shoulders down and back, draw the ribs in, squeeze the inner thighs together. So lots to think about just in this traditional mountain pose. Prepare yourself. Let's inhale, sweep the arms wide and high. Exhale, swan dive. Reach those arms out wide as you scoop through the chest. Tuck the chin. Inhale, halfway lift. Same deal as before. Bring the hands to the shins or the knees if you have to, but the lower you go, the more intense the hamstring stretch will be. So you've got to choose where you're at for that. Exhale, fold down, ground the hands, step your right leg back and then the left. Come into your plank pose. Drop the knees, but this time keep the hips up. We're going to drop the chest and just hover. So just hover the chest just off the ground. Hips are up high. It's a bit of a caterpillar pose. Then inhale, lift the chest, drop the hips to the mat. Untuck the toes. So see how we've kind of scooped into a cobra? If you didn't, don't worry. We're going to practice that a couple more times before we move on. So tuck the toes. Inhale, back up to that plank. We'll practice it again. So drop the knees. Keep the hips like sort of up a little bit. You want to drop your chest directly in between the hands there. So drop the chest down. Now don't poke the elbows out because it's going to put pressure on the shoulders. Poke the elbows behind. So drop the chest, hover if you can. If you have to, just drop the chest. That's okay, but we're trying to build up the arm muscles here. So once we've done that, inhale, lift the chest, drop the hips, untuck the toes, shoulders down and back. So we're in our cobra. Beautiful. Exhale, lower down, push up. Try not to roll up if you can help it. We're going to do that one more time before moving on. So rise into a hand plank, drop the knees, drop the chest, keep the hips up. Inhale, drop the hips, lift the chest, untuck the toes, shoulders down and back, pressing in and up to that cobra. Exhale down, inhale, push up, and let's exhale to downward facing dog. Beautiful. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to practice that a little more smoothly into the next few sun salutations. So look towards the hands. We're going to take a big step with our right leg first, then the left leg. Meet towards the top. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck the chin. Inhale, halfway lift. Now with this halfway lift, the more hamstrings flexibility you have, the more likely you are to be able to keep your hands down on the ground. Now what that means is pretty much if you have your hands at your shins or thereabouts, we are going to really have a flat back and maybe even have a slight back bend, but we just want to have a flat back. So practice your hip tilt here. Bring your hands to the hips or even your lower back. And notice if your tailbone's pointing down towards the ground, we want to poke it far back behind you as you can. Think of poking your tail upwards. So from there, keep that posture. Slide the hands as long down the legs as you can until you find your back starts to round. That's when we want to stop. So practice that now. Let's exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So you can come up a little bit just to find that sort of depth. Keep that long flat back. Slide the arms down. Keep looking to where you are. And you may or may not be able to touch the ground. If you're a beginner or sort of intermediate, you probably are likely to have your hands on the shins here, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's going to take time and practice and persistence to get that. All right. Exhale, forward fold. Knees can be bent or straight here. It's up to you. Inhale, roll and rise up to stand. Take a big sweeping reach. Let's go straight into the next one. Exhale, swan dive, the heart down. Option to have knees bent or straight here. Inhale, halfway lift. Find your lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step your left leg back, then the right leg to plank. Drop the knees. Keep the hips where they are. Drop the chest, hover, or drop it if you have to. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the hips, untuck the toes, keep the shoulders down and back. Long breath there. Exhale, down, tuck the toes. Inhale, push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. How are we going with that? All right. Inhale, look to the top, left leg, then the right leg. Forward fold as you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. We're going to do one more. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands. Option to step or hop, either way, like either leg. So if you want to practice your hopping, just step your feet back a little bit and then hop into a plank pose. All right, drop the knees, drop the chest, hover. Inhale, untuck the toes as you lift the chest. Your hips need to be grounded here, so make sure you drop the hips down. Exhale, lower the chest, tuck the toes. Inhale, push up. Toes, exhale, back, downward dog. Inhale, look to the top. You can practice a little hop, so what you've got to do, bend through the knees and just hop, hop, hop. Or you can hop back and practice one bigger hop. Up to you. Either way, just step towards the top of the mat to finish it off. Let's take an exhale into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Take a big reach. Let's do one more, I reckon. Exhale, swan dive forwards. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, walk, step or hop back to plank. Drop the knees, drop the chest, keep the hips up. Inhale, chest up, hips down. Beautiful. Exhale, lower the chest, tuck the toes. Inhale, push up to the knees, to the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top, walk, step or hop. Back to the top, forward fold. Exhale there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Take a big sweeping reach. Hands down through the middle this time as you exhale there. And bring your hands by your sides. Beautiful. So that is the intermediate level. How'd you go? If you need to practice that more times, please do. If you can do, say, 3 to 5 as often as you can each day, every few days, whatever, you're going to get stronger and more flexible at the same time. If you're ready for the more advanced variation, join me for the next video as I take you through that.